man, it's pretty hot. All right, I gotta bring out the shades for this one. Oh, beautiful Florida weather. I remember when I was 22 years old, I was at the dinner table with my family, all around. Out of nowhere, I get this rush of inspiration, a feeling of I can do anything. I can achieve anything if I put my mind to it. I got up abruptly. Brother looked at me. He's like, what's he about to do now? I was like, hey, listen. And I looked at all my family members, my mom, my dad, my brother. I was like, by 30 years old, I promise you this, I am gonna become a millionaire. And fast forward to now, I'm 29, about to turn 30, and I'm nowhere near that goal. So here's the thing, for a while, it really bothered me that I'm about to be 30 and I was nowhere close to becoming the millionaire I said I would be. For a long time, I beat myself up for it. I felt like a failure. 29, not even close to becoming a millionaire. I'm a failure, yeah, right? And it wasn't until I learned these two things that the pressure really started to come off. Okay, so the first thing is this. Growth and progression is not necessarily linear in life. It doesn't really go this way necessarily, but really it goes like this way. Here's a graphic to show you what I mean. So for example, you're trying to become a content creator. So you're endlessly making videos and videos and videos. And so your growth is kind of like this, but then all of a sudden a video pops off and you start getting all these views. Then your growth went from this to like this, and it was completely out of nowhere. Or let's say you're trying to develop your career and become a manager or something. Maybe you're working hard on in your job, you're working hard, but then all of a sudden you meet someone at an event who then refers you to a role, and then all of a sudden you become a senior manager. And so you went from this to like, boom, out of nowhere. That spike is not correlated to time duration. It kind of just happens and spontaneous. Or maybe you're trying to grow a business of some sort, and every day you've been grinding, and all of a sudden you do some strategic, new, innovative marketing campaign on year 2, and all of a sudden everything just kind of blows up. In fact, within those 2 years, the marketing campaign became so good that that 2 month of growth was better than the last 2 years of attempted growth. So again, the spikes can happen at any moment. And so yeah, I am turning 30 soon, but I still got 6 months. And you know, in those 6 months, anything can happen. So the second thing I'll tell you is this. I remember watching a video, and the video was this business leader guy, and he was giving a lecture or a talk to other small business owners on how to survive a recession. And the idea behind what he said is the following. He's like, you gotta think long term, because in the moment, the dips might feel intense right now because there might be a recession happening. So the dips might feel intense. But when you think long term, 10, 20 years down the line, this little dip you're experiencing right now just feels like a small little bump in the road to your end goal. And so when you think long term kind of like this, it alleviates a lot of the pressure and makes the current state of intensity feel so much more temporary. You know, I had a client and they said something interesting to me. They're like, they were struggling and they were in the trenches, and some of their own clients were about to drop, and then they weren't closing deals, they still had to make payroll. And so it was an intense experience for them. This client was a client of mine. And so I had an honest conversation about how things are doing for her. And she said something very, very profound that really got me thinking in a different way. She said, you know what? I'm in the trenches right now, and it feels like a lot. It feels like there's just so many things happening. I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what I'm doing. And in this moment, it just feels like a lot. But I have to remind myself that while I'm in the trenches, this might feel like the most severe moment ever in my life. But the truth is, this is just a temporary bump towards the long-term vision. I'm gonna look back at this moment and think to myself, damn, I thought that was scary, but with hindsight, it really wasn't that bad. I was like, damn, like, you're right. Even at that point when I was on the call with her, I was struggling too. But hearing that from her, again, gave me like a lot of reassurance, like, hey, this is just a normal part of the process. In the future, I will look back in this exact moment and think to myself, wow, it wasn't actually that bad. So here's a third bonus just for you because you're amazing. The other thing I came to realize is that all these goals we have, these achieve this outcome by this timeline, they're all arbitrary. Like, who says I need to be a millionaire by 30? Like, is that something I just learned through social media and all this peer pressure and this messaging that's been kind of pushed on to me because I live in Canada or something? Is that why I feel this way? And so, really, like, I have my whole life ahead of me. You know, sometimes I catch myself like at parties being like, oh my God, I'm about to be 30. Or like, oh my God, the big 30 is coming. Oh my God, my life ends at 30. Oh, that's when everything needs to be amazing by 30. I keep catching myself saying this to friends and family and just people in general. The truth is, like, I feel like life technically starts at 30. 20s is kind of like where you're trying to figure yourself out. And then 30s is like when you like put the gas to the metal, is that what it's called? Gas to the foot? You just put the foot on the gas and you just go. Because now you have like that clarity of who you are and what you're all about. Honestly, like, it's not the end of the world that I'm turning 30. And so I hope by making this video, if you yourself are struggling to come to the fact that you're about to turn 30, I want you to know that you're not alone. Like, I really, really do honestly feel this. I'm trying to make sense of it myself too. And I hope just me being open and vulnerable with what I'm feeling and what I'm going through, it makes you feel a little less alone. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.